الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق أجمعين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآله محمد. Vi ska börja med rubrik från Koranen. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. طاسين ميم. تلك آيات الكتاب المبين. نتلو عليك من نبأ موسى وفرعون بالحق. نتلو عليك من نبأ موسى وفرعون بالحق لقوم يؤمنون. إن فرعون علا في الأرض وجعل أهلها شيعا يستضعف طائفة منهم يذبح أبناءهم ويستحيي نساءهم إنه كان من المفسدين. ونريد أن نمن على الذين استضعفوا في الأرض ونريد أن نمن على الذين استضعفوا في الأرض ونجعلهم أئمة ونجعلهم الوارثين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد. Vi står en tyst minuter för alla offer som har drabbats av terror. Så vi börjar med den här minuten kanske. وقفه على روح الشهداء. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. شكرا جزيلا. لا أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات خصوصا شهداء الحشد الشعبي رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة والصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. البداية نبدأ نشكر الجميع على الحضور بتاكر الله سنكمل. خلي بالكم نبدأ مجلسنا بتحف الدكتور عبدالامير، فنستقبله بالصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. Ska börja med doktorn Abdallah och sen vi fortsätter. Tack ska du ha.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه أجمعين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين.
صلى على محمد وآل محمد.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if there are some ladies there. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of God, the most merciful, and thank you for this invitation, these meetings. All of the nations have some issue to defend. Some nations, they issue, it's the economic case. They call it the capitalism. Some nations, they issue, it's the cultural or the political. But today, our nation, as a human being, it's not economic issue. It's not the political. Our issue today, as a human being, it's the peace issue. Our peace is very important. Life without peace is not life. So there is some groups who destroy our life, destroy our beautiful life. First of all, they start to divide between the West world and the East world. And this mistake was from the both sides. And the West side, for example, before some years ago, they called people on the Eastern side, they call them the Third World. And this is very racist sentence and very big mistake to divide between people, the Third World and who is the First World. And from the other side, from the Eastern side, also they try to do things which is they destroy the beautiful picture of our religion, of Islam religion. They destroy our culture, our science people, our history, and our civilization. To show now, the result now, in the 21st century, when you mention the Arabic people in the front of anyone in the world, the first picture who come, the bombing, the war, the blood, the conflict. By this way, we have to be clever enough to understand and to put our fingers on the right problem. This problem, for example, if we make solution, then we can live in peace. So, I invite everybody in the world, not only in this side, everybody in the world, we have to stand together as a human being. Forget your religion, forget your background, forget where you come from, because the problem is one problem. The ISIS, when they fight today in Syria, when the occupation part of the north of Iraq, today in Iraq, and believe me, tomorrow nobody knows where they start. If we don't make some real solution. The second point I have to mention, there are some questions. Our friends, our families, the victims, the people who lose the lovers in the world, they have some simple questions. Who supported them? Where they come from? The ISIS, they didn't come from another planet. They was between us. They was part of our countries, part of our families, part of our tribes. So they was between us. The responsibilities was not only for the religion people or political people or for the police people. The responsibilities, it was for all of us, on all of us. They blame the worst word, the victims, I mean, they blame the worst word when I used to say this sentence all the time in my speaking, in my media meeting. If the American or the Westward, they discover the water on the Mars planet, how they didn't know where the ISIS come from? How they didn't know where the weapon come from? They get weapon now in the north of Iraq, made in 2017, which is in this year. How they get it? They are ghosts? No, they are not ghosts. The miracle age has gone. So it must be somebody who supported them. And this supporter, it must be some very big part of the political world. No simple people, Bedouin people, they come from Saudi Arabia, from other countries. They deal with the camels, they deal with the cults. They have this kind of new modern weapon and a new modern plan. And they occupy countries like Iraq and Syria and Libya and so. It must be somebody who supported them. And we have to talk about it. We have to be brave enough to mention the problems and to mention the problems makers. And that's very important. Who supported them by financial? Who give them the money? Who give them the possibilities? How they get inside Iraq? How they get inside Syria? I'm very sorry to tell you, my brothers, I'm very upset to tell you there is some country, they know who they are and they know where they come from and they make themselves like blind. If today my children in Iraq bleed, maybe your children tomorrow bleed in Sweden or in Norway or in England. And we have very bad experience in the last 10 years. My kids, when they go to school, they don't go to the school by peace way. I don't know what will happen to them in the way to school. Why? Because I know there is some terror people who live between us. When you study the terrorism issue in the Middle East, for example, most of them, they come from Europe. They was between us. They was a friend of us. How they become terror people? How? Of course, there is too many things to talk about. How they become. First of all, the ideological schools who come from Saudi Arabia, and I don't feel ashamed to mention it. And I'm not afraid to be honest with you. The schools in Saudi Arabia, they tell people from the first class, from the first year in the school, they tell them how to kill another people who don't believe in the same believing as you. In Islam, everybody knows. We in Islam, we have big respect for Jesus, peace be on him, as the same as we respect our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is not secret. In my mosque, I talk exactly when I talk in the church. I have been in the church in all of the world. I have been visited more than 65 different countries through my job and sometimes vacation. And the first thing, I used to visit the church. When I talk with the priest there, we have too many things which is thinking together. We share too many different issues. The human rights issue, it's nothing to do with the religion. If I'm a Muslim or if I'm a Christian or Jewish, I'm a human being, and I'm proud that I'm a human being. I have to respect another human being, whatever their color or religion or nationality. So, my brothers, I beg you all that we have to stand together as a one man. We have to talk about the problem by a very honest way. We have to forget the diplomatic way to talk and the media talking, because our people bleeding till today, especially in my country. My country has been built since 6,000 years before Jesus Christ, peace be on him. 6,000 years before Jesus Christ. 6,000 years. The first civilization on the planet. We learn the other people on the planet, the writing and reading. The first constitution in the world was in my country. The first medical school in the planet was my country. The first mathematics school in the world was in my country. How the country go down year by year? Of course, I don't blame the Iraqi people, or I don't blame the simple people. No, I blame all of the humanity. Because all of the humanity, we share the crime. Even we live in Sweden. We have to do something against the terrorism. We have to tell them, I have to go to the police, and the same minute I suspect somebody, I have to tell the police. This is not my job. I have to tell them, and they take the case. They start from you and they take the case, and they end it. Even, I'm sorry to say it again, even today people, they don't have that big respect, and they don't have that big trust for the political people. Because myself, sometimes when I talk with the police, I talk with the political people in some countries in the West world, they tell me the same sentence I used to have. Yes, we know. Yes, we do know who they are. We do know where they come from. We do know when they go and they come back to Sweden. Okay, if you know this Swedish or Norwegian citizenship who went to fight against the simple, single people, innocent people in Iraq or in Syria, why you didn't stop them? Why when they come back home to Sweden or Norway or England or French, why you say you are welcome, come here, finish your job here. You didn't finish your job down there in the Middle East, you are welcome to do it here. Why? Of course, this is just something I say. They didn't say that to them, welcome. But by behaving, they said to them, they are welcome. If you know that this man or this family, they have been in Syria to fight with ISIS, why you don't tell me to do my immunity, to save my kids, to save my family, to save my friends? People who have been bombing and make terror action in Stockholm, in Paris, in Belgium, in the other places, most of them, if I don't say all of them, was in Iraq fighting with ISIS. If the simple man like me and you, we know this, do you think the police, they didn't know this? Do you think the political people, they didn't do this? But they didn't do anything. Go inside the mosque and listen what they talk about. What they talk about. What they teach our kids. What they used to tell them in the mosque. Sometimes they take the kids from 10 till 14 years old and they start with them with jihad. Jihad is to defend yourself, yes. Jihad is to defend your family, to defend your wife, to defend your daughter, to defend your country. This is jihad. Jihad is not to attack the other people. Jihad is not to go over the border of another people. Our Prophet, peace be on him and his family, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi, used to say, حُبَّ لِأَخِيكَ مَا تُحِبُّهُ لِنَفْسِكَ, love to the other like what you love to yourself. This is our religion. Jesus, peace be on him, also he said the same. Moses says the same. Adam said the same. If you feel that you are a human being, you have to feel for your brother like you feel for yourself. To the end, the last sentence I say, I'm going to say that, my brothers, if we don't stand up together as a family in the humanity, as a brothers in the humanity, forget your religion, your color, your nationality, as a human being, if we don't stand together, then our life will be